Welcome to the Empowered Esthetician podcast. I'm your host, Shaylee from Glossus Social, marketing made easy for estheticians. It is such a beautiful day, and I'm so happy that you're here hanging out with me for this shorter podcast episode today. I am recording this on a Sunday. My husband took my toddler to see a Colorado Rockies baseball game today. My sister lives down in Denver and her boyfriend as well, so they're gonna go up, hang out for the day, which means I get the house to myself today. And honestly, I kind of have like FOMO right now. I really wanted to just stay home by myself to get some things done, checked off my to-do list that have been on there for a while, and just have some me time. But at the same time, I was kind of jealous as they were driving away this morning because I kind of wanted to go with them. But I know that it's okay to have alone time, it's okay to have me time, and I'm really trying to work on that. So that's what I'm doing today, and I'm so happy that I'm able to take a little bit of that time today to record this podcast episode. Now, this episode is going to be a little bit different than the normal episodes that I record. There's been a topic that I have been facing myself, and I have noticed in speaking with my followers, my students, I've noticed a lot of people are actually dealing with this topic as well. And so I feel like it's a really good one to talk about right now because it's apparent that I'm not the only one that has been dealing with this topic and these feelings. So today I want to talk about overwhelm and mental health. Now, I'm specifically going to be talking in the lens of an entrepreneur, a business owner, but I just want to make it very clear that the things that I'm going to talk about are so easily translatable to if you're not a business owner too. If you're working at a spa or you're still in aesthetic school, these things relate to you as well. But since I'm talking about it from my point of view and some of my students, we're going to be talking about it in the lens of self-employed entrepreneurs, business owners. Okay, we're going to pause real quick because I'm editing this podcast right now. And when I was recording the other day, I got a phone call from my husband because my daughter wanted to talk to me. And oh my gosh, listen to what I got on recording.
I got a Rice Krispie treat.
You got a Rice Krispie treat?
Uh-huh.
Doesn't she have the cutest little voice? Okay, we will get back to the podcast now. So I've had quite a few life changes happening recently. And these are things that I can't say quite yet, but as soon as I'm ready to, you will be one of the first to know. But I think with any type of life changes comes a lot of different emotions depending on, of course, what it is that's happening in your life. But also, I don't know if there's just something in the air or it's this time of year when the weather is changing. For example, here in Wyoming, it's been really cold and gloomy and windy and the sun isn't out and it's not warm. And now, it's like transitioning into the warm weather and the sun is out. And typically this time of year, I feel so much happier and lighter. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the sun actually does make a difference. And oh my gosh, I didn't realize that I was kind of grumpy and gloomy and whatnot with the weather until the sun comes out, and now I'm so much happier. But this year, it's almost kind of the opposite, and I don't know what is happening. There's something happening that is making everything haywire, I feel like. Because like I mentioned before, it's not just me. I've heard this from some of my students and followers and, my friends and family. I feel like a lot of people have been struggling with mental health issues lately, depression in particular. And first I want to say, if you're one that is struggling with depression or anxiety or any other form of mental or emotional health, you are not alone. It does not define you. It does not make you any less. You are worthy, you are important, and I see you. Now, when you're going through these things as an entrepreneur, as a business owner that has a family, that has maybe a couple extra jobs that you're trying to do, all on top of running your business, which of course that includes actually doing the things in your business, marketing, bookkeeping, client retention, all of those things. It can be very, very hard, and it can be even harder when you are at a lower point emotionally and mentally than you typically are. Let's take social media marketing, for example. When you are dealing with so many things in your life and you're just trying to stay afloat, you're trying to keep your head above water, social media is probably the last thing that you want to even think about, right? You know it's important, but gosh, there's only so much you can do, right? There's only so much you can do. And your health is always, 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 always the number one important thing in your life. Because if you don't prioritize your health and your emotional, mental, physical, spiritual well-being, you aren't going to be able to take care of the other things in your life. So your kids, your family, your business, everything else will fall to shambles if you don't prioritize your health. I want to share with you a conversation that I had with one of my students recently. One of my students was very vulnerable and shared with me and some of the other students in socially empowered estheticians what she had been going through recently. She had some major unexpected health problems arise, and it just totally knocked her on her butt. It was way more complicated than she thought it was initially, and it set her back a lot. And she was just saying how she thought that this setback completely washed out all of the work that she had done for her social media. She said that her engagement dropped because, of course, she hadn't been posting as much, and she felt like everything she had done up until that point was just totally gone. She had to totally start over. And the reason I'm telling you this is because we all are going to have times like this where we are just killing it. We're posting all the time. Our engagement's up. We're booking clients. We're doing all the things. We're seeing the success happen. And then all of a sudden, bam, something happens out of the blue that we weren't expecting, and it totally knocks us flat. There's no way that that's like never going to happen to you, right? It's expected. That is what life is all about. There's always going to be something that comes up out of nowhere, and we have to deal with it. Now, sometimes we can be adaptable and make it work, but sometimes it's so huge that we just can't. And things fall to the wayside, and that is okay. Now, my advice to her was this: you come first, not social media, not marketing, not even your business. This life is not meant to live with our businesses running our world. Our health, whether that's, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, comes first always. Family also comes first always. It shouldn't ever be business first. The goal and why we started businesses in the first place is to be able to live our lives first, and secondly, have a business that feeds us that fulfillment and money to be able to live our lives the way we want to. And it can easily get switched around, and we don't want that. It can easily be where we put our businesses first, not our lives first. And that is no way to live. And that's why building a business that is full of systems and processes that allow us to spend less time on our business and more time in our business is so important. That is what I strive to teach you inside my online course, is to help you develop a well-oiled system so that your life doesn't have to be overrun by marketing or social media. Sometimes life just smacks you down out of nowhere, and it is so out of your control. Maybe you weren't prepared enough, but guess what? It's okay. Yes, your engagement may have dropped, but oh well. The best part is that you can start again tomorrow. What happened is out of your control, and the best thing to do is look at the positive of you have another chance. You have unlimited chances. Don't focus on what you should have done or what you didn't get done or what you didn't do. Focus on what you can do right now. You cannot change the past, so only focus on what you can do starting today. At the end of the day, in the grand scheme of things, what matters is that you did what you had to do to protect yourself, your health, and social media or marketing did not matter at that point in time, and that is okay. Just keep moving forward. Nothing was lost. Nothing was canceled out. Just do what you can and be okay with whatever that is. You have it in you to jump back up and keep going like you never stopped. Now, I also want to share with you a few things that have helped me in those situations too, because like I said at the beginning, I'm going through a lot of life changes right now too. I really am excited to share with you what those are, but I just can't quite yet. But with that has come a little bit of depression that honestly I have never really dealt with before, and I'm very grateful for that. So this is like very new to me, and I've had to navigate this different emotion that I've never felt before. But some of the things that have really helped me to really stay focused on the positive, having an abundance mindset, and really focusing on the things that I control are this. Number one, the Superhuman app. Now, this is not sponsored at all in any way, shape, or form, although I wish it was. But Superhuman is a guided meditation app, and I cannot express to you how amazing this app is. There is a free version, but I personally pay for the upgraded version. It's, I want to say like $5.99 a month or something like that, and it's so worth it. These guided meditations are for literally any topic, any aspect that you could ever think of. For example, if my mind is feeling like really scattered and I can't focus on what I'm trying to do, there are quick focus meditations that you can do. There's walking meditations. There's sleeping meditations if you have a hard time falling asleep. The difference that it makes in my day and my mindset is absolutely incredible. I do it first thing when I get up in the morning, but then I also do them throughout the day as needed. So if I am just feeling not myself, if I am having different emotions that I just can't focus or whatever it may be, I'll open the app, do a quick 3-minute meditation, and holy smokes, it is night and day difference. It's crazy. So I highly recommend the Superhuman app. And to go along with that, number two, and this one is a little bit harder to do, but it's really controlling your mind. Your mind is so powerful. Your mind is capable of doing things that you have never even imagined. And if you're able to control your mind and always be in an abundance mindset, the game is over. You will win every single time. Now, when I say abundance mindset, I'm talking about thinking and calling in all of the positive energy in the world. Instead of thinking about the negative and what could have been and what you should have done, thinking about what I can do, what the possibilities are, how bright things could be, things of that nature. So for example, I'll use it in the lens of social media marketing. If I didn't post for 2 days, I could be like, oh my gosh, I didn't post for 2 days. And those 2 days, I could have missed out on 2 new clients. I could have missed out on a ton of DMs, engagement, you name it. I could stay in that mindset. I could just be kicking myself over not posting, but instead I switch it and be like, okay, I was in a really bad mindset. I was just struggling to do my best, and doing my best was taking care of me and not worrying about social media, and that is okay. But now I'm going to post today. I'm going to put a ton of effort into it. I'm going to post on my stories, and tell yourself, be like, I am going to get 2 new clients from this post. You know, even if that doesn't happen, you're calling in that energy, that abundance energy, and putting yourself in an abundance mindset. So number 1, the Superhuman app. Number 2, put yourself in an abundance mindset, control your mind. And number 3, take time for yourself. That is probably the hardest thing we will ever have to do, because let's be honest, we're running a business, we have families, we maybe have second jobs, and time is very, very limited, right? But instead of scrolling on the couch for 15 minutes after you've put the kids to bed or after you've done your nightly routine, instead of sitting there scrolling, put your phone in another room and paint your toenails. Or read a book. Do something that's good for your mind, your soul, your body. Do something for you. Because I will tell you firsthand, my job is like I am on social media 24/7. And I have noticed a direct correlation between mindless scrolling on social media, which I could easily call research, right? But mindless scrolling on social media and my mental health. It totally takes over your life. And you sometimes lose track of how long you've even been doing it. And I've also noticed that if my phone is in the same room as me when I'm trying to spend time with my family, or if I'm trying to do something for myself, I feel like I'm on like a ball and chain. It has such control over me, and I don't want that. So what I found is if I put it in a separate room when I'm doing my self-care, whether that's reading or journaling or painting my toenails or even just watching one of my favorite shows, if that's my self-care time, if that's my me time, I need to put my phone in a different room. And I highly suggest you try doing that as well. All right, recap. Number 1, superhuman app, guided meditations. Number 2, controlling your mind, putting yourself in an abundance mindset. And number 3, taking time for yourself, spending time on yourself without your phone. Being an entrepreneur is hard. It is hard, but gosh, it's so worth it. If you can learn to have self-control, if you can learn how to really program your mind, and if you can really learn how to still take time for yourself and have that balance, it is the most rewarding thing you will ever do. Do not give up. Always keep pushing forward and just know you are not alone. You are worthy, you are important, and I see you. Please, please reach out if you ever need someone to talk to. I am here for you. And let's just go kick some ass. I'll see you in the next episode.